What's up, breadwinners? Here's another unhinged, unedited, one take clip. I'll see how it goes. Today I'm going to be talking about just some of the things I've learned over the last year to 6 months of shooting a lot. For me, I'm obviously not like cool guy, Mr. like Ranger SEAL guy, but I've been shooting a lot, training a lot, and been having a blast, learning a ton, mostly with my handgun. But I wanted to go over my rifle setup and why it is that way. And I do have some notes because otherwise I'll ramble on forever. But in short, it's been on my mind, so I figure I'll make a video. I got nothing going on right now. So the first thing is suppressors. Suppressors are really cool. They're really nice. You should get one. However, I do think they're a little overrated in the sense that I think people will talk about them like you need one, and I genuinely, I don't think you do. I've had the suppressor now for a couple years, and I do like it a lot. It's just, every time I shoot my longer rifles, I hate them. Like, I take them off. If you have a 14.5 inch or above, honestly, you should just not rock a suppressor. Suppressors really shine when you get these short barreled guns, like this 11.5 inch. It's great there. They're heavy, they're kind of cumbersome, they're stupid hot, they come with their own problems, and they can be pretty expensive. At least tax stamps are free now. Heck yeah. But yeah, suppressors are cool. Get one, but you don't need one. 550 cord has been for a sling mount. 550 cord sling mounts are sick. I love this. I actually put a Magwell QD sling mount right here, and then I just ran this. I was running it just through the M-lock slots here, but I kind of like how this, I don't know, I was bored. I gotta be real, I just did this way because I'm bored, but you can just run it through your M-lock slots. I prefer this a lot. It's quiet, it's flexible. When I had the QD, not that it really matters here, like I'm being a prude here, but I have found that I've seen them break, the QD slots break. Not a lot, but they have. But they make a lot of noise, and they rattle and clank a lot. This does a little bit because you got the plastic, but a whole lot less. And you get that flexibility where the QDs, they either spin nonstop, which sucks. If you have a QD slot and it just spins, if you have to run QD, go get another one. That's annoying. But even when they're locked up, they can get kind of like just stuck. Like if you're stuck like this, that's just where the sling sits. And yeah, it's a little flexible, but this kind of gives you the best of both worlds where it doesn't get twisted up. It'll fix itself. But it also lets you move it around a little bit. Just a little bit of flexibility. Also like my sling mount mounted out the front. I played around mounting it back here with the same thing actually, just like all the way back. And there are benefits to that. It feels nice when every time we were doing some like close QD vehicle stuff. It is nice. It has its place, but overall I have found that having the front and all the way to the rear is significantly nicer. Anyway, next, pressure pads. This is going to be a hot take, I think. I hate pressure pads. I've seen them I'm not Mr. Ranger SEAL cool guy shooting all the time. I train a couple times a month, so more than most, but not a lot. And they're usually pretty low round count. And the amount of pressure pads I've seen break, like have faulty issues where you got like flickering and stuff, or light NDs where people will sling their rifle, or while they're shooting they're pushing it without realizing it. And lights are bright these days. This is a Surefire Turbo. You can see it. You'll see the boys just flickering on targets, and anytime you start doing that at night, no bueno. We had a guy who slung his rifle down, and the pressure pad must have been hitting like his thigh or gear or something, and it was just going off. No bueno. I prefer the clickies. Right now, I have this weird setup. This is a clicky, just a hot button. I actually usually don't run that. The only reason I'm running it in this configuration is because my Raid XE that I spent all this nice money on had to be sent into Wilcox for a second time. I don't know what's going on with it. It's frustrating, but my old Holosun just keeps on trucking. So it's on there right now, and for fun I threw this on here while I had a different setup. But for the lamb, I do just run the clicky, and normally with the lights I just reach over with my thumb and use the clicky, but I got bored, so I'm mixing it up. But pressure pads, personally, no bueno. I don't think you need them. You should get rid of them. Try it. Just try clickies for a while. It's a little different. I think you'll like it. They don't break very often, too. Oh, also, maybe these are a little bit for older lights, but I've noticed on a couple lights with the pressure pads, your output on your light will be less. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know, but whatever the connection is here between the pressure pad and your light and that wire, it will dim your light, which why would you get an 1100 lumen light and then put a pressure pad on it and get less? That's stupid. Anyway, try the clicky. I think you'll like it. Also, the front of the handguard, I have removed all of my grips. All my vertical grips, all my angled grips, anything like that, I ended up removing completely. I think they look cool. I'm not saying you shouldn't run one, but I have found that in practice, when you're actually shooting and you're shooting from weird locations, whether it's just as simple as a barricade, vehicles like the hood, rocks, trees, having nothing here is the bee's knees. It's better. And I found by getting rid of these, I found that I don't need those vertical grips. Yes, it's a little more comfortable to kind of run it like a hand stop. I just don't think you need them. You don't need them. They look cool. They don't really add anything to recoil management if you are shooting correctly. Like, not to sound like a jerk, but if you think you need a grip to control this, I don't know, dude. I don't think so. I think that's fake. So, anyway, you should run it slick. At the end of this, I think you should try this. Just try this setup. Run it slick. Run clickies. I think you'll like it a lot. I really do. Magwells. These things are dope. These should not be as cool as they are. When I first saw these, I was like, you're just bad. Like, you don't need that. Like, cool. It's neat, I guess. But then I got one because I'm dumb with money. And then I got into night vision, and this is where it really shines. If you have night vision, you should try to get one of these HRFs or whatever they're called, Magwells. When you have nods on, they're like a camera, and they focus. And so if you've got your gun out in front of you, you can't just like look down at it or anything like that. So having it more open feels really good. Yeah, and now I just like it. You don't need it. It's one, again, not needed. Really nice. And they're not very expensive, so I think it's a nice little upgrade. You should go buy one. Go support HRF or something. If not them, make your own. You can probably 3D print it. Let's see. Okay. This is the biggest one for me where I haven't changed my setup, but if I started over, I wouldn't do this again. And that's the Unity mounts. These things are pretty cool. I like that it comes with backup irons inside of here, so I can kind of keep it, again, a little more slick up here, less stuff going on. The magnifier's out of the way. You flip the center. I like this setup a lot, but what I've noticed is, even though I've been shooting like this for years, I can shoot a lower 1/3 setup when it comes to like very small hit boxes. Like, you're talking like those little T boxes when you're shooting, I forget the name of those targets. Up close, trying to be fast, CQB, like doing indoor, like coming into rooms and you've got like a hostage scenario. I kind of like the lower 1/3 a lot more. It's so much easier to just consistently hit exactly what we're doing. It's not like a huge difference between like right here and here when it comes to height over bore, but my goodness, like, this is great, just general use. I like it. It's comfortable. It's fast. I like the backup irons. I like this setup. It hasn't changed. I don't probably plan on changing it, but I don't think I'd go to this setup again. I think if I started over, I'd just stick with a lower 1/3 and call it good. And yeah, I think that's the biggest one for me on this setup. I've been running it like this for years, and I do like it. It's one of those things where we live in a good time, guys, where so many setups are viable, and you can rock pretty much anything as long as it's quality, and you're going to be fine. But speaking of that, you should get rid of your LPVOs and get a red dot and magnifier. No, I'm just kidding. For me, I found that I prefer the red dot and magnifier setup the most. I had the Vortex Razor, and I had a fixed prism that was like a 3X. I don't even know what it was. It was when I was first getting the rifles and I was trying stuff out. And I came full circle back to the red dot magnifier. This is my favorite setup, especially for shorter guns. I can't speak to like 14.5 inch further. I was not utilizing the LPVO for everything it could do. So that's a skill issue for sure. But I just found that when it came to a gun that I wanted to run nods with, or just like I'm grabbing a gun, it's going to be my 11.5 inch. So having the LPVO and like a backup dot on top, and it was just extra weight, extra problems. It's a good setup. I'm not going to say don't run that. I just found that this does everything I need to do just as well, and then better for anything within like 200 yards. This setup is just disgusting. And then I can make it work at further ranges. Obviously, it's just most of my shooting, 1 to 200, red dot magnifier all day. Plus, you can get way better dots for the price than like an LPVO. And that pisses people off, but a budget option like the Vortex Razor, or not cheap, budget. There's cheaply made crap that I don't recommend, but if you get a budget option, LPVO, you just got to spend a ton of money. Versus a quality red dot, you can get a Holosun 515 GM for like $300, and it keeps up with the Aimpoint T2. I've switched to the T2, but I kind of had buyer's remorse for a while. I got to be real. Speaking of the T2, since I'm rambling, the reason I switched to the T2 was from a good buddy of mine, and he was saying that you need to get off the Holosun 515 GM to the T2, but not because the Holosun doesn't work, but because of these knobs and its night vision use. The Holosun has two little buttons, or I can't remember where they are, it's been a while, but the knobs, when you can't see, again, kind of like the reloads, or you can't see anything going on right here, being able to just come up and feel, you just have to memorize your clicks. So I'm all the way up, -2, and now I'm good. But if I needed to adjust this for any reason to shoot passively, then I can, or then not shoot passively, like back and forth. It's just being able to control everything on your rifle without having to look at it. The T2 just shines. And I mean, obviously it's a T2. It's boring. It just works. Is it overpriced? Yes. I don't think you need it. Get the Holosun. But if you shoot nods, the T2 does shine in that regard. Okay. Alright, here's the things that you don't need, but I have. Actually, I'm going to skip over that. That's boring. I'm not going to do that. And then last but not least, night vision is really cool. You should get night vision if you can afford it. This is not me saying don't get night vision, but it also sucks. Everything you do with your rifle after you get night vision makes setting up rifles suck. They're not fun. This is my old Lamb. It is tall. It's a chunky boy. It's not that great. Actually, this one's pretty cool. It's pretty good. I shouldn't say that. It's good. But you can't, with this Holosun, it's too tall. You can't see through it if you have irons or anything like that, like Co-Witness. This will block it. The Lamb, like the actual illuminator, looks like a petri disc. It's heavy. It's blocky. They die quickly. You got to babysit them. You got to memorize all these controls again under the dark, because there's a lot of settings on the rear of this thing that you got to memorize, and then you get a nice one like what I have, the Raid, and that thing is so cool. But I had to literally just take some time, turn the lights off in my house. My wife's just like, "What are you doing?" I've praised the Lord that she loves me. I don't know why. I don't know what she sees, dude. I'm such a walnut. But and just sit there and memorize how to work that thing, because it's got all kinds of controls, and you got to know how to do them in the pitch black without looking at them. So nods are cool, but they do suck for setting up rifles. I thought it'd be a lot easier, as a kid playing Call of Duty 4 and just like, you turn it on and got a laser and stuff. But especially when you start doing force on force, and people might also have night vision, or even better, like thermals and stuff. So you have a lot of, I don't want to say responsibility, but it's just so much going on. It made shooting rifles not as fun, I'm not going to lie. It's complicated. Way more complicated than I thought it would be. Alright, enough of that. Enough of the rifle. Word from my sponsors. Monster Energy Drink. Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the urge. Alright. Glock 45 time. So, over the last couple of months, I've pretty much only shot, doing this off camera so YouTube doesn't ban me, pretty much only shot my Glock 45 training wise, and it's been awesome. I've gotten significantly better at shooting pistols. I've gotten significantly better with rifles when I use them. That whole adage or whatever they say, where if you get good with a handgun it transfers to rifles but not vice versa, is 100% true. But this thing right here, I got less to talk about, but I will go over a couple things. So the one big thing for me that I learned that I was just wrong on are these handle it or talon grips. These things slap. I was an anti-skin, anti-stippling even to a degree. I just didn't think it was needed. And I was just wrong. These things slap. Granted, you got to replace them every now and then. You will burn through them. But the amount of effort to just hold on to your gun and just let it do its thing and this not move around in your hand, it's just so nice. Call it a skill issue. I don't care. Go get a handle it grip. This is the Edge series, I think. It almost looks like stippling. That being said, ignore the front. They'll come with little stickers that go here. Don't use this as a rest. Go watch some Ben Stuger, whatever his name is. That guy's legit. These thumbs, that's the other thing I learned, is to not use my thumbs. These just float here. I'm not pushing into the gun. And I have found that now my gun rises way more consistently. Speaking of that, dude, he should pay me. You should get his book. You see this? Buy this. This has got a wealth of knowledge, and you're going to learn a lot. Ben, thank you. It's a good book. Anyway, rambling. I'm sorry. Skins are dope. RCR. That's the dot. It's goated. This thing's expensive. Stupid expensive. But it has a Bible verse on it. It's closed. It's not an open emitter. It's got a nice size. Like, it's not like the Acro that's like freaking huge. It doesn't have its own specific cut like the, what's that called? The Koa, the aimpoint Koa that's been getting popular. This is my favorite closed emitter dot. I've had no issues with it. It sits on the RMR footprint, so you don't have to go change a ton of stuff. This mounting system is brilliant, and I'm not going to get into it. Go watch a Regular Guy Trainings video on it. I'm rambling enough. He breaks it down, and I was like, yeah, you're right. It's sick. Like the RMR, it's just durable as hell. Go watch torture tests, whatever. I like this dot a lot. Obviously this isn't for like competition use. It's not some huge open window. I'm not saying you have to have a closed emitter, but I live in the Pacific Northwest where it rains a lot. And if you have this thing, sitting in a holster and rain gets in there and it's an open emitter, you will bring your gun up and you'll just see in the glass just speckled mess. No bueno. Friends, I learned this from a good friend in our group. Friends don't let friends buy open emitters in the Pacific Northwest. Anyway, I like the RCR a lot. Nothing against the Acro P2, but I'm just not impressed with it. The window feels even smaller than this, and it's blockier, it's bigger, it's got its own cut, and ironically, I've seen them die a few times. So, I have not seen these die. Alright. Enough of that. Okay. And last but not least, I'm going to wrap up this video, but the last thing I want to say about this setup is the Radian Ramjet. This is the compensator out here. These things are sick. It's about as expensive as a Glock. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. It's so cool though. This is kind of like a suppressor, but even worse. If you can afford to get a Ramjet, you should get the Ramjet. This thing, doesn't take up a lot of space. The hotter the ammo, which means, more stuff going on in here, more explosive, more recoil, more whatever, the more this thing works. And oh my gosh. It makes shooting your defensive ammo just feel like cheapo 9mm like steel case. This thing's a flat shooter. And ironically, it made me a lot better shooter. I know people will say gear doesn't buy skill, and I agree with that, but it allowed me to see where I was making a lot of mistakes. I've only had this for a little bit, and I have learned a lot. And now I can shoot my bone stock Glock 19. Sorry, I say bone stock, but it's not. But I can shoot my Glock 19 without this way better. Or just standard Glocks. If I took this out and put the normal barrel in, I'm going to shoot it a lot better now. And it started because I use this thing and just, oh, that's where I suck. Oh, I'm sucking at everything. This thing right here, I guess I'm not wrapping this video up. One more thing. These little chiral back straps, these are pretty cool. You don't have to do this. You can use your normal back strap that comes with the gun and cut it down, like right there. I just don't have mine, so I ended up buying one of these. These are sick. I hate to admit this. I thought that whole changing the grip angle of your Glock so when you come up and present like that, it would just, much easier and more natural grip angle. That whole argument, I was like, that's so dumb. Just train, dude. And to a degree, that's true. It's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty nice. I'm not gonna say you should get one of these, but if you do, I guarantee you like it. Like it's nice. It does change your the grip. There's a lot more going on here. I have a harder time reaching the Magwell, so now I have to really break my grip and push the gun into my thumb, kind of like that to reach it. But it's honestly worth it. The presentation, the comfort. I know it's not everything, but you're talking about holding a 2x4 with explosives in it, so it's nice. And last but not least, I guess this Surefire. This is the Surefire Turbo. We literally just did last week. The group and I did a low light, no light shoot, and this thing performed great. A lot of TLR7s were struggle busing, mostly from just dead batteries, but even with the flood of those and seeing stuff when targets are spread out and identifying targets and what you need to shoot and what you shouldn't shoot. It's not a very realistic thing using this to identify anything. I'm not going to pull this out in the middle of the night. What's that? But the point is, they had pretty low flood, pretty weak hotspots versus this thing. The Surefire Turbo is sick. It is a big boy, though. And concealing with it sucks. That being said, having a modernized roll-in special is pretty sick. Oh, and then I'm sorry, I'm going to ramble one last time. The trigger. This is just a standard Glock trigger. I don't change it. I was using the Glock Performance trigger for a while. But once I hit about 1,000 rounds, you're supposed to do maintenance and clean it and stuff. And I literally was so lazy and not in the mood. It's so easy to swap triggers on these things. I just popped the OG one back in here and realized you don't need it. Glock triggers are not known for being great, but something they don't tell you is they don't suck either. They're fine. So just rock the stock trigger. Get good, brother. Get good, as I say with my Gucci'd out Glock. No, but that's just some of the things I've learned over the last year, mostly in the last 6 months. You don't need a lot, but if you're going to buy some stuff for your gun, I think the top things you could buy, like if you're getting a Glock, is a quality dot. Even if it's an open emitter, just get a dot. Iron sights are cool, I get it. Get a dot, a light, and that's really all you need for these. And a quality holster. Get a quality holster. And then for the rifle, if you're gonna get any accessories outside of your normal optics and silencers and stuff, just onto the gun, honestly, I would, if I started over, this was bone freaking stock, the first upgrade I would get is this buffer tube. It is the BCM Mark II, and I should have brought this up earlier, but in short, it's a rifle length buffer tube with a rifle system in here, and it made shooting, especially with a can, much nicer. It's not had any issues, so I can't say it's more reliable, but it just feels better to shoot, and I like it a lot. And I would get that over a trigger. I would get that over an extended charging handle. I know a lot of people get the charging handles because they're not a lot of money, like $100 at the high end, and this is kind of a waste of money too. Yeah, they're nice, but you don't need it. I would get this bad boy, and then I'd get the Magwell. And if I had to pick a third, it'd be the bad lever. Take that. A lot of people don't like this thing. They're just wrong. The bad lever's dope. Ooh, I need to clean this. Anyways, guys, you have a blessed day. I'll catch you next time. Feel free to roast me in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong, or don't tell me I'm right. I'm right. So you can tell me I'm wrong, but nah, dude. Nah, I'm just kidding. Give this a thumbs up or not if you liked it. If you didn't like it, thumbs it down. Subscribe. Is that what YouTubers say? Subscribe. And then last but not least, is this where if I knew how to edit, I would bring that thing up that says, I noticed that there's 100,000 of you that watch my video, but only 20 of you are subscribed. I need to change that. All right, I'm sorry. I'm rambling. Love you. Goodbye.